The 2007 McDonald's All-American Girls Game is filled with players who carved out successful college and pro careers. A few of them didn't quite live up to their potential, but there's already one Hall of Famer in the mix. Before we dive in, I wanted to make one quick note. I'm going to refer to everyone by their maiden name to make tracking and searching a bit easier. With that said, let's take a full look back at every player from the 2007 McDonald's All-American Girls Game. Vicki Baugh. Baugh joined Tennessee for college. As a freshman, she helped Candace Parker, Shannon Bobbitt, and Alexis Hornbuckle to the national title game with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and just under a block a night. Unfortunately, she tore her ACL in the championship game against Stanford. The Vols still won, but Baugh was limited to just 14 games as a sophomore before tearing her ACL again. While sitting out for that injury, she had another surgery to address a torn meniscus and missed the entire 2010 season. Baugh finished college with 2 solid seasons in Tennessee, but never quite broke out as a star. The Shock picked her in the 3rd round of the 2012 WNBA draft, but she did not make it into the league until 2014. She spent 3 years between Tulsa and San Antonio, averaging about 4 points and 3.5 rebounds a game. Baugh's WNBA career was over in 2016, but she spent 9 years playing overseas before starting her coaching journey. She was hired as an assistant with the UC Davis Aggies in 2023 and is still there as of the 2026 season. Angie Bjorklund. Bjorklund joined Baugh at Tennessee. She became the 10th volunteer to start their career as a starter and won the SEC Freshman of the Year award en route to the national title. She continued to grow over the next few years, becoming one of the best three-point shooters in the country and putting up double-digit points nearly every night. The Sky picked the 2-time All-SEC player in the 2nd round of the 2011 draft. Unfortunately, her WNBA career lasted just 7 games. She continued to play overseas for 9 years, enduring several injuries that kept her from ever regaining that same form that she'd shown in college. Bjorklund also did some work as a coach at the college level in the 2010s and is working as a basketball trainer in Spain as of 2025. She also isn't the only ball player in the family. Her sister Jamie played at Gonzaga, while their uncle Steve played at Oregon. One of their grandfathers played basketball at Washington State, while another ran track at Washington. Kelley Cain. If you thought that we'd spent too much time talking about Tennessee already, I got some bad news for you. Cain also joined the Vols for college, though she took a red shirt in 2008, so she did not help them win that title, at least with her on-court performance. When she joined the roster in 2009, she put up 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks a night. She upped that to 10.5 points, 7.7 boards, and 3.4 blocks in 2010 to make the All-SEC and SEC All-Defensive teams. Cain took a slight step back in 2011, but still played well enough for the Liberty to pick her 7th overall in the 2012 WNBA draft. In 20 games, she put up 1 point and 1 rebound a night. Cain was waived in 2013, but signed with Connecticut in 2014. After 8 games, her WNBA career was over. She spent about 10 years overseas, making stops in Turkey, Italy, South Korea, Poland, China, and Ukraine. In 2022, she transitioned to a coaching career, and as of 2025, she's working at a private high school down in Georgia. Ashley Cimino. Cimino spent 4 years at Stanford. She averaged under 4 minutes per game across her career, so she was never able to quite get her game to translate to the college level. That said, she did deal with a few injuries, which definitely hindered her development. After graduating, Cimino started working in marketing. She moved into business operations in 2021 and is still working in that field in Boston as of 2025. Satira Degraffenreid. Degraffenreid signed to play with North Carolina, where she quickly became a top scorer, averaging 12 points and 2 steals a night as a freshman. She bumped that up to 12 and 3 as a sophomore, before having her best season in 2010 with 14 points, 5 assists, and 3.2 steals a game. Degraffenreid's scoring took a slight step back as a senior, but she continued to be a steady hand at the point, helping the Tar Heels make the Sweet 16, where they came up just short of the 1 seed Stanford. She then spent several years playing overseas before starting her coaching career at Gardner-Webb. Degraffenreid joined UNC Greensboro after 3 years and is still coaching with the team as of the 2026 season. After 4 years as an assistant, she was named the team's associate head coach in 2022. Lorin Dixon. Dixon spent 4 years at UConn, playing about 16 minutes off the bench with 3 points and 2 rebounds a night. She wasn't exactly a major cog in the Huskies machine, but she definitely played her part in the team winning back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010. It looks like she played in a few games in the WNBA and might have played a bit overseas, but did not have a lengthy pro career. Instead, she became an entrepreneur, opening a company called Xavery Cakes in 2020. It's a themed pancake mold company that sells molds featuring fan-favorite characters like Invader Zim and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, if you're looking to inject some fun into your breakfast, consider giving them a look. And no, this is not an ad. Stefanie Gilbreath. Gilbreath left Texas to start her college career at USC. Unfortunately, she had torn her ACL before the McDonald's game and sat out her entire first season. She tore her ACL 2 more times over the next 2 years, missing her first 3 years of college ball. Gilbreath finally got on the court in 2011, playing in 13 games but continuing to struggle with injuries. She was healthy in 2012 and played in 30 games, averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds a night. Gilbreath decided to transfer to New Mexico State for her final season and put up 17.5 points and 6.7 rebounds to make the all-WAC team. She played overseas for a bit, but has spent the last 10 years working as a social media director in Texas. Gilbreath also owns a wellness company with her sister Brianna, who was on the 2008 McDonald's All-American team before joining her at USC, so I'll talk about her in the next video. Alison Jackson. Jackson attended Ohio State for all 4 years. She was a contributor off the bench for 121 career games, averaging about 2 points and 1 rebound a night. It looks like she played a bit of pro ball overseas, but has largely been out of the public eye since leaving the Buckeyes. Amy Jaeschke. Jaeschke went to Northwestern and was a standout from the jump. She put up 13 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 2 blocks a night as a freshman to make the Big Ten's all-freshman squad. She improved all 4 years, peaking at 21 points, 9 boards, and 3.2 blocks as a senior. For those efforts, she made her second All-Big Ten roster and first Big Ten All-Defensive team. The Sky picked her in the 3rd round of the draft, making her the first Northwestern player ever selected by the WNBA. Unfortunately, Jaeschke never played in the league. She has also kept a low profile since graduating, but appears to be working with the Sky in marketing. That said, she may have left that job, but I found confirmation that she was working with the team in a front office role as recently as 2016. Jaeschke was inducted into the Northwestern Hall of Fame in 2019. Jantel Lavender. It doesn't get much better for an Ohio State player than Lavender's career. She won the Big Ten Player of the Year all 4 years of her college days, while picking up 3 All-American nods. She also won 3 Big Ten Tournament Most Outstanding Players, though the Buckeyes never got past the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament during her time at the school. Still, Lavender put up 21 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 3.1 blocks a game over her 4-year career. The Sparks picked her 5th overall in the 2011 draft. It took her a few years to really get going, but she was a solid backup for Candace Parker until having her best season in 2015. That year, Lavender made her only All-Star team behind 14.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks a game, as Parker missed the first half of the season. The Sparks also won the title that year, adding some extra hardware to her shelf. In 2016, she moved back to the bench, but still played well, winning the 6th Woman of the Year award. Ahead of the 2019 season, Lavender was traded to the Chicago Sky. She started 22 games there before a foot injury shut her down for the rest of that year and all of 2020. Lavender came back to play for 1 year with Indiana and another in Seattle before leaving the game behind. In addition to her WNBA exploits, Lavender is a 2-time Polish National League champ and a 2-time Turkish Cup winner. As of 2025, she's working as a health and life coach. Italee Lucas. After wrapping up her high school career in Vegas, Lucas crossed the country to play for North Carolina. She had a relatively slow start to her career, but bumped her scoring up to 14 a night as a sophomore. Lucas then made 2 straight All-ACC teams in 2010 and 2011, while averaging about 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal a night. The Shock picked her in the second round of the 2011 draft. She never played in the WNBA, but it looks like she's still playing pro basketball in Africa as of 2025. Lucas represented Angola in the 2025 Women's Afrobasket and is listed as playing for a pro team in Rwanda. Drey Mingo. Mingo started her college career at Maryland. After 2 ho-hum years with the Terps, she decided to transfer to Purdue. She sat out the season due to transfer rules and looked poised for a big 2011 season. A few days after dominating at the preseason women's NIT, she came down with bacterial meningitis. After 5 days in a coma, Mingo woke up and was completely deaf. She was still able to play that season, putting up 13 points and 6 rebounds a night, but her lack of hearing was certainly a challenge. She eventually regained most of her hearing in her right ear, but her left ear only had about 30% of normal hearing as of 2013. Ahead of the 2012 season, Mingo was dealt another blow, coming down with an ACL tear during practice. She missed that season, but came back to have a solid 2013 season with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block a night. It doesn't look like she played professionally. Instead, she's opened a non-profit to help children with hearing loss afford hearing aids. She seems to be working in that field as of 2025, while also planning to launch a new podcast and business venture in 2026. Maya Moore. Moore was born in Missouri, but played high school ball in Georgia, where she became a generational prospect, winning back-to-back Naismith Prep Player of the Year awards and the Morgan Wooten, Max Preps National Player of the Year, and Gatorade National Player of the Year awards in 2007. She joined Powerhouse UConn for college ball and was instantly a star. Over her 4 years with the Huskies, Moore averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks a night. She was an All-American all 4 years, won 3 Wade trophies, and picked up almost every Player of the Year award in 2009 and 2011. On top of that, she led UConn to back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010 and made the Final Four every year. The Lynx picked her first overall in the 2011 draft. Moore won Rookie of the Year and made the All-Star team that first season, putting up 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.5 steals a night. She continued to improve over the next few years, winning the MVP in 2014 with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game. She also made 6 All-Star teams and 5 first-team All-WNBA rosters. Plus, Minnesota won 4 titles under her watch. After 8 years in the league, Moore announced that she would miss the 2019 season to focus on her family and ministry dreams. At the time, many thought she might eventually come back, but that was the end of her basketball career, as Moore decided to put her efforts into reforming the American justice system. Starting in 2016, Moore began to become more active in fighting injustice. As part of her efforts, Jonathan Irons was released from prison. He had been wrongfully convicted and was freed after serving 22 of his 50 years in prison. The two would later start dating and are now married. As of 2025, she's continuing to work as a social justice advocate. Moore was enshrined into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2025. Erica Morrow. Morrow joined Syracuse, where she spent 4 years averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals a night. It was a solid college career, but Morrow only played in one NCAA tournament game during her career and was not selected in the WNBA draft. Instead, she spent a few years playing overseas before starting a coaching career in Luxembourg in 2019. By 2020, she'd rejoined her alma mater as an assistant before moving to St. Bonaventure in 2022. She was elevated to interim head coach in 2023, but has left the school since then. As of 2025, she was coaching at the youth level back in New York City. Kayla Pedersen. Pedersen was born in Michigan, but played high school ball in Arizona. She then joined Stanford for college ball. Pedersen made the All-Pac-12 team all 4 years, putting up 13 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 1 steal a night across her career. The Cardinal made it to the national title game during her freshman season, but lost to Tennessee by 16. She made 3 more Final Fours and 1 more title game, losing by 6 to UConn in 2010. The Shock picked her 7th overall in the 2011 draft. Pedersen was decent during her first few years in the league, but never improved on her rookie averages of 7 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. In 2013, she was traded to Connecticut. After 2 more seasons, Pedersen took a year off. She spent that time traveling and shadowing a pastor in Arizona to help her decide what she wanted to do next. Pedersen ultimately played 1 more season with the Sun before retiring in 2017. She's since worked as a coach and spent some time in ministry. Devereaux Peters. Peters played high school ball with Alison Jackson at Fenwick. She joined Notre Dame for college, making the all-freshman team in 2008. Her sophomore year was limited to just 3 games, but she came back in 2010 to play well off the bench. In 2011, Peters became a starter. Over the next 2 years, she averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks a night. For that, she made back-to-back All-Big East teams and won 2 Big East Defensive Player of the Year awards. The Fighting Irish also made the national title game both years, though they lost each time. The Lynx picked her 3rd overall in 2012, so she got to partner with Maya Moore. She wasn't quite as effective at the next level, averaging just 4 points and 4 rebounds during her 4 years in Minnesota, but she did win 2 titles. In 2016, she was traded to the Fever. She spent 2017 out of the WNBA and joined the Mercury for her final season in 2018. Since retiring, she's been working in real estate back in Chicago. Tashia Phillips. Phillips was an instant success with Xavier, averaging 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 block a night. Her numbers hovered around there for the next 3 years, though her blocks trended up toward 2 a night during the back half of her career. Phillips made 4 All-A10 teams, won 2 A10 DPOYs, and was the 2010 A10 Player of the Year. The Dream picked her 8th overall in the 2011 draft. She played in 15 career WNBA games, averaging 1.5 points and 1.3 rebounds in limited minutes. She then decided to take a break from the game, but fell into coaching at the high school level in her hometown. She joined Garden City Community College's staff in 2015 and moved to the University of Indianapolis's bench as an assistant in 2016. After a few years in that position, she joined the NCAA as a core case processor and later became the Assistant Director of Academic and Membership Affairs. In 2021, she left the organization to join Nike, where she's still working in the company's branding department. Jeanette Pohlen. Pohlen joined Pedersen and Cimino at Stanford. As mentioned, those teams were stacked with talent, so she took some time to get going, coming off the bench for solid minutes as a freshman. Pohlen started as a sophomore and junior, bringing her scoring up into double digits, but really broke out during her senior year. En route to making the first team All-American roster, she put up 14.5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal a night. She also made her 3rd All-Pac-12 team and won the league's Player of the Year award that season. The Fever picked her 9th overall in the 2011 draft. She was solid during her first 3 years, helping Indy win a title off the bench in 2012. Unfortunately, she tore her Achilles tendon midway through the 2013 season and had to miss an entire year. She came back to the Fever in 2015, playing 3 more seasons before leaving the game behind. Pohlen then spent some time working for Hyperice before joining the Stanford staff in 2021. She is an assistant coach with the Cardinal as of the 2026 season. Khadijah Rushdan. Rushdan's career got off to a rough start at Rutgers. She missed all but 8 games with an injury, taking a medical redshirt. When she came back, she was a starter, but took a backseat to Epiphany Prince and Brittany Ray. In 2011, she had her breakout season, posting 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 steals a night to make her first All-Big East team. Her numbers were pretty similar in 2012, finishing her college career with another All-Big East selection. The Sparks picked her in the second round of the 2012 draft. However, she picked up a groin injury before the season and never played in the WNBA. Rushdan spent several years playing overseas before joining the staff at LaSalle in 2017. She moved to the University of North Florida in 2018 and left that school to become an assistant at Marquette in 2023. She is still with the Golden Eagles as of the 2026 season. Lenita Sanford. Sanford was originally going to attend Cal, but ended up at Trinity Community College. Unfortunately, a knee injury kept her out of her first season. She then transferred to Chipola Junior College and was named to the All-Panhandle Conference second team. In 2010, she joined El Camino Community College, but did not play for the school. Sanford then signed with UNLV, but knee injuries continued to limit her. She did play a bit overseas, spending time in Chile, Spain, Hungary, and Romania. It looks like she might be living back in Vegas, but her social media presence is very limited. Marah Strickland. Strickland started playing college ball at Maryland. She put up around 9 points and 3 rebounds a night over her first 2 seasons, but decided to transfer to South Carolina. After sitting out a year, she averaged similar numbers, but only played in 19 games. Strickland transferred again, this time to Fordham in 2012. After sitting out another season, she put up 15 points and 4 boards to make the All-A-10 team. It doesn't look like she had any significant time in the pro game, and seems to be living a normal life as of 2025. Jasmine Thomas. Thomas was the McDonald's MVP before heading to Duke. She steadily improved over her 4 years with the Blue Devils, peaking as a junior in 2010 with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals a night. She was a 2-time All-American, making the 3rd team as a junior and the 2nd team as a senior, despite her numbers dropping slightly. Thomas won the ACC Tournament MVP in both of those seasons, but the Blue Devils ultimately fell in the Elite 8 each year. The Storm picked her 12th overall in the 2011 draft, but she was quickly traded to the Mystics. She played solid basketball there for 2 seasons before being traded to Atlanta in 2013. After 2 more years, Thomas was traded to the Sun. There, she finally started to break out. Over her 8 years with Connecticut, Thomas averaged 11 points, 4.5 assists, and 1.3 steals a night, making 1 All-Star team and grabbing 3 first-team All-Defensive nods. Toward the end of her tenure, she picked up an ACL tear and was traded to the Sparks in 2023. She played in 1 last season with LA and retired in 2024. In addition to her WNBA play, Thomas played a ton overseas during the offseason, even winning a Turkish Super League championship in 2021. Since retiring, she's done some broadcasting work for ESPN, but was hired by the Dallas Wings in 2024, where she's working as the Vice President of Basketball Ops and the Assistant GM as of the 2026 season. Krystal Thomas. Thomas joined Thomas at Duke. As far as I can tell, there's no relation to the two, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Krystal Thomas wasn't quite as successful during her 4-year career as Jasmine. She put up 6 points, 6 rebounds, and about 1.5 blocks a night as a rotation big. Still, Thomas finished strong, making the All-ACC team as a senior with 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, and nearly 2 blocks a game. The Storm picked her in the 3rd round of the 2011 draft. She played in 7 games before being traded to the Mercury. Thomas gave Phoenix solid big minutes for 2 years and change, but was waived in 2014. She quickly signed with Indiana, but left the league in 2015 to coach at Grand Canyon University. She rejoined the Storm in 2016, playing 19 games off the bench. Thomas then wrapped up her career with 2 decent seasons with the Mystics. Memorably, the team fell short of winning the title during her final season in 2018, as they were swept by the Storm in the finals. She also played quite a bit overseas during the WNBA offseason, winning a Queen's Cup in Spain. After wrapping up her playing career in 2019, Thomas started working as a teacher and then athletic director at a Florida private school. Tyra White. White left Missouri to play at Texas A&M. Unfortunately, her freshman season was cut short after a single game. She took a red shirt and joined the team in 2009 to average 5 points off the bench. She became a starter in 2010, upping her scoring to 11 a night. In 2011, she was the second leading scorer behind Danielle Adams for an Aggies team that won the title. Interestingly, Adams also came from Kansas City, but took the JUCO route before becoming A&M's top player. Anyways, White wrapped up her college career with her second straight All-Big 12 season, though the Aggies couldn't quite replicate the title win, losing to Maryland in the Sweet 16. The Sparks picked her in the 2nd round of the 2012 draft, but White never played in the WNBA. That said, she did play overseas for several years. I'm not 100% sure what she's up to these days, but her Instagram suggests that she's doing a lot of travel, which makes me pretty jealous. And that wraps up the 2007 class of Women's McDonald's All-Americans. I'll be back in a few weeks with the 2008 crew, but for now, why don't you check out this video detailing what happened to Tina Charles and the rest of the 2006 McDonald's All-Americans.